And we are live. Welcome back to United States of Australia. And there's already movement in the chat. I'm excited. I'm nervous. We've got a huge guest today. Can't wait to get into it. But first of all, I'll introduce my co-host. Holy shit, 19. We've never hit 19 before. It's insane. Our co-host, first of all, just Josh. A bit newer to the show. Welcome, Josh. You nervous with 20 people watching?
A little bit nervous. I'm checking in as a eligible co-host for today's show. Just want to let you know. Checking in.
You are indeed. And a fellow Cowboys fan. Big day for the Dallas Cowboys. Sure, we'll discuss that in a minute. Secondly, our other co-host, a man that always declares himself as eligible, Robbie the Mariner fan. How you doing?
Great. Couldn't happen. Good. Couldn't happen to a better team, by the way. Actually, never mind. It would have been.
Yeah, you got that wrong.
Don't be salty, Robbie.
Yeah. Poor little baby. And of course, joining us, the man that was not a man. It's something. Was promoted and has brought this giant audience for us. Everybody, please welcome the legendary Tookie.
Wow! Hello, everyone. This is fantastic. Happy New Year. Good day. I think that's how you say hello in your native tongue. So hello, good day.
Yes, you Americans generally emphasize the g a bit more than you need to.
Good day.
It's more of an afterthought. It's good day. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Good day. Good day.
Happy New Year, Tookie.
Happy New Year, just Josh. Happy New Year, bloated homosexual. That's what they told me to call him.
Nobody told you anything. Nobody told you anything. We all know that you've been up to dirty business at the moment. We have got chats early, and a good friend of the Bedabbling Live and everything that you guys do over there on the Bedabbling Network, Kinky Loco popped in early. I wonder if Tookie will bash Aussie guy on MLC like he did to Cardiff. Look, it's the elephant in the room, Tookie. Big issues now between El Horrible and Cardiff Electric after yesterday's Bedabbling Live. You're at the center of it. You're the cause of it.
Yes.
Do you feel guilty, first of all, of what you've done to your friend El Horrible? And second of all, what the fuck is going on?
I have no idea. Everyone keeps saying this is a work. Is this a work? It's a work. Well, if it's a work, no one told Tookie or El Horrible. And it was kind of El Horrible was caught off guard yesterday. I don't know what's going on. I can't imagine the potato would really be angry with Tookie since his platform, since Tookie came on the scene, was I hate Tookie, Tookie sucks, and all that kind of stuff. So you would think he would be able to take some good-natured ribbing, but I guess I did it on the wrong show is what is happening here. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the sense I got out of it. Because you're right. I mean, Cardiff Electric for months has, in certain shows had a background with Tookie with the big round circle and a line through it.
Like Ghostbusters. Oh, that's so funny. Tookie got to laugh.
So the mud has been slung in Tookie's direction a lot. So you're right. I think, there's something about Kevin Brennan and MLC. What do you think it is in particular about that show that it's a problem for Cardiff?
Well, Cardiff was saying it's because that Kevin tried to ruin Carl from Who Are These Podcasts, his interview with John. And I kind of get that, but I think we're past that. I don't think Carl really cares that Tookie went on MLC. I didn't even think Cardiff would care that Tookie went on MLC. But yeah, apparently there was an issue there, and I forgot to ask for permission or something. I don't know. And then all I did was make some jokes, jokes, haha. It's hard to kind of be funny on the fly like that, and you're looking for anything to make jokes about. So he asked about Cardiff. He was like, hey, Tookie, what do you think about that stupid potato? He stinks, huh? And then Tookie would just go, yeah, boss, he does stink. He stinks. Tookie's using him. Or no, the potato is using Tookie. I don't even remember what we said. It's so stupid. These other two have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's what I love. I love these two just staring at this going, a potato, a puppet. What the fuck is going on here?
Yes. This is very sad, though.
I love Robbie to sweat still.
Yes, I'm sorry, Robbie. I'm sorry that this is so. I don't want to trouble you or make you, sad. But I'm sure that Tookie and the potato will get together again at some point. But I don't know. He won't return my calls. He won't talk to me. He blocked me on Twitter. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, listening to it, and don't worry, Robbie's always sad. There's serious mental health issues
Very
going
sad.
on.
It's like I'm helping him out.
So that's fine. But guys, one thing I'll say, the highest audience we've ever had by far is because of this puppet and his beef with the potato. So you guys just need to take a back seat for a little bit.
32 people. Wow.
It's insane for this show. It reminds me actually, Tookie, going back to El Horrible, and one thing I took issue with Cardiff saying, like, Cardiff is basically saying he made you and all this stuff, which I was like, now you're going a bit. Like, I was a fan of El Horrible back the worst Christmas ever last year. I was one of these people that watched the worst Christmas ever. So yeah, I was a fan of you organically without anyone else's intervention. And the other thing, you selected Nobody Likes Onions, which I did as well on that survey for best show. And I think Patrick has had a lot to do with the rise of Tookie as well, not just Carl. I think Patrick was one of the first to call about how much he loved Tookie and got people looking in your direction. So yeah, what were your thoughts on that? Do you think Cardiff is going over the top there, taking credit for you and El Horrible?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because I have always credited Cardiff. He did a telethon type show to help get me to DabbleCon, and this was before I really ever talked to Cardiff, and I was very surprised, and I was very grateful for that. But I mean, I wouldn't say that Cardiff made Tookie, but he definitely helped. And yes, Patrick Melton was definitely one of Tookie's first outgoing supporters. I definitely owe a lot of Tookie's success to Melton. That's why I originally voted for Melton, and then I changed it to WATP because I felt guilty. Because yes, Carl was the main reason I started all this, but I do definitely give Patrick Melton of NLO credit. And tonight, after this New Year's celebration, Tookie is on the New Year's tour. We're hitting New Year's early in Australia, Perth, Australia. I think we have about 18 minutes to go until the new year. This is fantastic. And then tonight, Tookie and Melton on NLO's channel will be celebrating the new year in the Pacific Standard Time. So what is that? 1 a.m. East, 10 p.m. Pacific. We will be starting a show tonight. And then, of course, there's the MLC New Year's show. That's going to be an annual thing. There's so many things going on. But Tookie will not be on that, as far as Tookie knows, unless Tookie gets a link, I guess. But
surely you get a link after you started that shit with Cardiff.
It's a very busy New Year's.
How long are you and Patrick gonna go on this stream? You're starting 2 hours before New Year's, which means you're going at least 2 hours. But we know how Patrick can do marathon shows. How deep are you guys planning to go?
I mean, I guess, yeah, like you said, at least 2 hours. We haven't really talked about anything. I think Tookie's just going to be there to kind of interject jokes. I mean, we'll do some back and forth, obviously, but I know Melton likes to do the show by himself. We'll see how this goes because I've never really. I saw the shows where Melton had Moody on from New Zealand. Yes. Do you know him? Are you friends?
No, unfortunately not.
You live near each other. You don't know each other.
No,
only a couple thousand miles away, but
exactly, yeah.
But
there is only like 30 million people between the two countries, so
you do know him. Oh, great.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes,
yeah.
But yeah, I think it'll be something like that. I'll just I'll interject here and there, but I'm gonna let Melton do his thing. I think we'll take calls, maybe talk about the year in review, some of our favorite moments from the year. I have no idea. I really am just pulling things out of my butt right now.
Yeah, well, we got plans of going in that direction, and these guys can sit there bored a little bit longer. But no, I enjoy when Melton does have a guest. Like, obviously, I listen to NLO all the time, and I love Patrick on his own. But I don't know, he gets a little giddy when he's got a guest, I think, and it's a completely different side of him where he gets all giggly and has a good time. And I think working with Tookie will bring a good side out of him. So that'll be a lot of fun. I just also wanted to, we'll start to get into our own actual show, but obviously we've got to talk to you about some of this stuff. I wanted to get your thoughts. I know you've had obviously troubles with Stuttering John. Stuttering John famously wanting to sue a puppet.
Yes.
Which is tremendous. And, you know, one thing I do like to call myself these days the most forgettable man in podcasting because I was a part of that episode that John copyrighted and all of that. But yeah, I think Carl is one person that mentions me. He's mentioned me a couple of times on it. But yeah, I was like, I left that show to go do this show to 5 people, and I was like, when everything came out afterwards, I was like, Jesus Christ, why didn't I stick around? But anyway,
exactly.
I wanted to get your honest feelings about the Stuttering John thing, though. I personally I still watch it all, and I still get some laughs out of it. But I've kind of reached a point where, and I almost think DabbleCon was kind of the end, and everything since he's come back, there has been some good moments, but it's kind of turned a bit kind of weird and gross to me from all angles. I wanted to get your kind of thoughts on how this has all taken a bit of a turn.
It is getting kind of gross. Everyone's getting into personal lives, showing people's houses, putting people's addresses, saying people's names, their relatives' names, calling their relatives, sending pizzas to houses. It's also stupid. And I don't condone any of that stuff, but John's an idiot. His show is the same bullshit every day about how he's great and how if he leaves, everyone will be screwed and no one will be able to do shows, even though John was gone for 8 months and we all did fine, but whatever. John is a paper tiger, I believe they call it. His threats mean nothing anymore. He had the opportunity to sue Tookie, and he let it go without ever negotiating with Tookie. He was like, Tookie, I'll release the strike, but then in your good faith, you have to take it down. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, you're the one who started all this. He's basically a guy who came and set my house on fire and then came by and pissed it out and was like, see, I saved your house. Fantastic. It's like, motherfucker, there was no problem until you struck Tookie. And then Tookie's a pussy for fighting back with his lawyer. And then I put the ball in his court and he could have sued me. And he decided to lift the strike. I never even talked to him. Stupid.
No, it is incredibly stupid. Yeah, it was. Everybody knew all along he was never going to sue you.
No.
And and it's just everybody sitting back and waiting. And
he's still saying it. He's still saying, Rocco, if you don't take it off Rumble, I'm going to strike your Rumble and your Patreon, which is not really a real thing. Because he keeps claiming, hey, get this, guys. He claims he has the copyright to his wife's new wedding video, or his ex-wife's new wedding video. Isn't that crazy? Could you imagine your ex-wife saying that they have the copyright to your new wedding video? It's stupid, and that doesn't even matter because we used it as fair use. We talked about it. It was transformative, like his kid. It was fantastic. We did a great job.
No, indeed. And as Carl points out, the only person that was transphobic was Husey.
Yeah, it's all Husey. Husey, John.
Yeah, exactly. What I love is saying that John says he owns the copyright to that video and saying, isn't that crazy? I think we're well past crazy when he's trying to sue a puppet. You know what I mean? Like it's, you know, and he's screaming at a potato and an orange and yeah.
I would have thought by now he would have used the excuse, my 16, however old his youngest son is, he should have just said, my youngest son filmed it. That means since he's a minor, I own the copy. But he's never even said that. So I don't even think his youngest son filmed it because that's what I thought he was going to say. I thought that was going to be the big boom. Like, here I go. I got the copyright because my minor kid was the one who recorded it. And now I bet, watch, he'll say that now. But he's an idiot. He's an idiot because now he keeps saying he's going to sue us for the transphobic material that was on it. But you're right. All the transphobic stuff was from Husey. So go sue Husey. I support that.
Yeah, sue Husey.
Yes, 100%.
One thing I thought all along, and you reminded me of another thing, which hopefully I remember after this point, but I kind of thought straight away, though, because he just immediately went out on a live stream and said, and like he immediately struck you, went on a live stream and said, yeah, I own the copyright, whatever. You know, he went full gun, all guns are blazing.
Mm-hmm.
If he emailed you and said, hey, man, that's too far. Can you take that down? And he did that privately and just said, yeah, can you take that down? I don't want that. I don't want my kids in this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you would have taken it down, right?
Yes. If he didn't strike me and came to me in an email, because here's the thing. I always said to him right after he struck me, I said, John, I'll make a deal with you. If you take the strike away, I will never put the video back on YouTube. And he said that was a threat. So I was like, okay, well, fuck you then. So when he released the strike, YouTube immediately put it back up. It was available. Tookie took it down because Tookie always said, I will take it off my YouTube. However, you can still see it free on Tookie's Rumble. And if you want to support Tookie, go to Tookie's Patreon, patreon.com/BeDabbler Network, and you can see it on there. But I kept my word and did not put it back on YouTube.
Well, and because I'm on that episode, maybe I should fucking upload it to our channel.
There you go. Do that. That's the other thing. Now I say, everyone upload my video to your channel. John can't sue us all. He doesn't have $400 each because I guess it's like $400 to file. So if everyone puts the video on their channel, it'll just stay up there. Fuck you, John. Like, you're the one who made a big deal of this. If you didn't say anything, it would have just been another video that had like 3,000 views. No big deal. But now that you made a big deal of it, it literally has almost 10,000 views on my Rumble. And my average Rumble viewership is like 200 views. So you're making Tookie very famous. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I just remembered the other thing. You said about how if he had to come out and said, his kid filmed it, like that would have been a smart play because a lot of people would have gone, oh, shit. Blah, blah. The other thing was the other day when Shuley and Mike Morse are trying to get on his show because Vince sent him the link. And then John lies and said, oh, I never saw him backstage or whatever. Like the simple thing, he could have dunked on them by just saying, yeah, I saw him there and I let him sit there so they can ruin their own show because they just bailed on their own show to go try and get on John's show. Like it's a simple thing. If he just said that, like that's just fully dunking on him, just going, yeah, fuck you, sit there and ruin your show while I continue on with my show. But, he's not that smart. He's too stupid to even think of something as simple as that. Which would have been a little win for him. But anyway, Robbie's yawning. And we will move on. Oh, what have I just done? Oh, no. Chaos ensuing on my computer. Fuck off.
But yes, he is very dumb, despite the fact that he's always...
My apologies, folks.
Claiming how smart he is. You can't beat this. You can't beat this. That's what he says.
Does he have a question for Tookie? Does he have actual fans, or do people just watch him to make fun of him?
Yeah, most people are hate watching him or watching him to make fun of him. He does get about 700 people now per live show. I mean, it's going up. But all this stuff, everyone talks about how they're sick of John, how they're sick of all this stuff. But literally, if we're not doing John stuff, people really aren't. They don't care. They tune in for the John stuff. It's the same thing.
Like a symbiotic relationship.
Yes. We all need each other. Yes, it's like Batman and the Joker. We all need each other to survive.
But that's the thing. Yeah, like there is more people. Like before he left, there was probably, I don't know, maybe 200 to 250 watching him on a regular basis, and that's probably being kind. And like you say,
doing his political crap. Now he's like getting into the Dabbleverse, and obviously, people like that stuff more than his political crap because he's an idiot on his political.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is people feel like they can get involved more in there, whereas I've found that it's not. For me, he doesn't produce as much funny content in terms of for us to laugh at him. Now that he's got into the Dabbleverse, the absolute best John is on an interview when he's interviewing someone and he's not worried about what anyone else thinks. Him being such a fucking just a selfish or narcissist. Everyone calls him a narcissist, but everything's focused on him and the questions that he asks. It's absolutely hilarious. That's the stuff that I'm kind of feel bad that he doesn't get guests anymore. And it's a struggle for him to get guests. It's his best stuff. What's your favorite Stuttering John stuff, Tookie?
But yes, I agree. When he had guests and he would make interviews about him, that was always great stuff. But yeah, now people don't want to go on a show. I mean, we're literally watching a man lose his mind now. It's just like he can't handle all the negative attention, which, you know, I understand. I would hate if I was constantly getting DoorDashes and people were calling my house or my mom and all that stuff. But there's simple things. I mean, yes, the mother can change the number, make sure you don't get it out again. I mean, the address thing you can't really do anything with. I mean, he finally put up signs for the DoorDashers to say, hey, we didn't order this crap, go away. But they're not listening. The cops came yesterday. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But again, that was for a bad reason. I don't want people to call and put in welfare checks on John. Someone in Missouri, I guess they said, called and said, hey, we need a welfare check on this drunken idiot. And the cops went over to John's mom's house while he was on. It's just, you know, all that stuff is kind of crap. But I just love hearing him talk about how great he was and how much smarter he is than everybody and how you can't beat this. You can't beat this brain.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, yeah, another thing that sort of turned me off a little bit is like people are just taking stuff like and running with it, and it's kind of like just is that really a big deal? If that was anyone else, would you be focusing on that? But because it's Stuttering John, we got to go, oh yeah, this is another fail for Stuttering John. But anyway, you know, it is. I do still get laughs out of it, but it feels different to what it used to. I always used to crave more and more. And that's why I found people like you. And I was listening to fucking Kevin Dumbfuck for some reason. You know what I mean? Like, it's, we're all obsessed with the Stuttering John content. But
there's so much of it too, though, now. Like, John thinks he needs to go on every day. Like, we need to hear, like, what changed from yesterday to today that John's going to have a different opinion on something. You know what I mean? Like, he literally does the same show every fucking day. And now he's incorporating like Stern clips, and he just sits there and he smiles at himself. Like, he just watches himself. He doesn't even talk over it. If anyone should get struck, Jason Kaplan from the Stern Show should start striking John's videos, because he's not using clips in a transformative way at all. He's just watching.
No, I agree, and a lot of the worst, you know, Chad Zumach and some of the others, that when they do these, you know, reaction videos, they've got nothing to say, and you know, like I've been involved with Get My Go for 3 years now, and you know, I've been on your show a few times doing that stuff. It's so much fun to listen to these people and try and think of a joke as quick as you can about what's going on. Like, it's so much fun. And these guys just sit there and they've got nothing. And you're like, what is the point in watching this? You're just watching someone else's content, effectively.
Well, they see, you know, everyone else do it, and they're like, oh, this is so easy. I can watch clips and make comments. I watched Beavis and Butthead before. I can do this. And then when you're thrown into it, it's not so easy.
Yeah. No, all right. We'll hit a few comments.
Is it New Year's yet?
Not quite. We're getting close. So we'll hit a few comments, and then we might pivot a little bit, just so Robbie and just Josh can get involved. But we may lose audience at that point. But anyway, who cares? Cindy James popping in. This was a while ago, but don't forget the orange. That's a good point. When we're talking about a puppet and a potato, you've also got Obnoxious John. OJ is a orange these days.
Talking orange.
Yes,
fantastic.
The characters in the Dabbleverse. Who else is there? There's bloody Hackride. Robbie, Chris Backstrom. That's Chris in Des Moines, isn't it? Robbie looks like Aussie guy was. Wait, Robbie looks like Aussie guy was put in a trash compactor. Okay, sort of flattened out and
or like an anvil,
like a Sith Jedi is what he looks like.
Yeah. Somehow Tookie is the healthiest looking of the 4 people on this podcast. Yeah,
Thank you.
Why don't you remind everyone, Tookie, of your origin story, how you came to life?
So basically, there is a retarded comedian from Cleveland named Ray DeVito. And when Ray DeVito was growing up, he grew up in a house with 2 sisters and a mom and dad and 1 bathroom. So while Ray would take showers, his dad would take that opportunity to smoke cigarettes and take dumps while Ray was showering. Of course, everyone at school found out that Ray showered while his dad took giant shits in the toilet beside him. So Ray had no friends. So Ray's parents decided to buy him Tookie as a friend. And Ray and Tookie, we went everywhere together. And Tookie was just a puppet. But then eventually Ray became old enough and things start changing in the body, and Ray started becoming curious, and Ray started having sex with Tookie, and all that retarded dumb cum inside of Tookie dried up and eventually brought Tookie to life like Frosty the Snowman. Yay! And that is why Tookie is here, because of a retarded comedian named Ray DeVito.
OJ's jumping in with worst New Year's Eve ever. Yes, that is phenomenal. Last year was OJ's worst Christmas Eve ever because of which, to be honest, the best show Kevin Dumbfuck ever did was you calling in and calling him a piece of shit over and over. It was fucking hilarious. But yeah, that was OJ's worst Christmas Eve ever. And now with Cardiff Electric's little hissy fit on Saturday, he's had his worst New Year's Eve ever. So that's great. Great to see you here, OJ. OJ's been on this. OJ was on the debut live episodes of this show. But then I kind of OJ does so much streaming and that, and we generally have to go live at the same time as you just because of our schedule, and because we're not monetized or anything. It's like, well, what's the difference? Anyway, point being, OJ helped us out early on, and we appreciate what OJ did for us. Ray DeVito, this is Kinky Loco. Ray DeVito made Tookie with his wife. That is correct.
A lot of dumb cum.
Big Greg says, hey,
is it New Year's yet?
Oh, fuck, we missed it.
Yay! Happy New Year, Australia!
Yay. We're 1 minute and 7 seconds in. I got distracted by the chat. Well done, Tookie. Well, there you go. I am now officially in a different year to you guys. I have time traveled.
How weird.
Into the future. I know, isn't it? Like, time zones fuck with your head.
Happy New Year, Australia.
Yes. Yeah. Tell us what 2024 is like. Are cars flying yet?
No, it's pretty similar to a minute and a half ago.
It sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Cindy James, I saw the fireworks go off live at Sydney, Australia. What, like a couple of hours ago, 3 hours ago, or is this in the past? Probably in the past. We got an FKB in there.
No.
We got a lot going on here. Ross Dog is trying to he's trying to do his director show thing. The Mariners won 116 games and Robbie was too young to appreciate it. The story of his life.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Well, got to say it's amazing to have so many people involved, but I get too easily distracted by the chat, and I want to get my co-host involved in this show. And reason I got Tookie on, I did want to do a little bit of a year in review and let's everyone look back on some of the good times and the bad times of 2023. And I think one of my highlights of 2023 was Tookie and the rise of Tookie. Obviously, seeing B Dabbler and the worst Christmas ever and all that going on last year, it's been a huge year for El Horrible and Tookie and the B Dabbler network. So I'll kick off with you, Tookie. First of all, for you, what was your highlight of 2023? What was that moment for you where you're like, this is fucking awesome?
I mean, pretty much going to live events and meeting people in this universe. And I know, again, mine is pretty much the same as yours. I mean, it's just the fact that, like, I finally found an audience. I mean, I've tried YouTube channels before, and it seems like 2023 was the year that I finally hit. And but yeah, going out to the live events like DabbleCon and meeting everyone like Kinky Loco and Cardiff for the first time, and Shuli and Carl, even though Carl was kind of scared of El Horrible because he didn't know him, and it was just a guy running around in a Mexican wrestling mask. But now we have become close and got to go to Detroit and go hang out with WATP in Detroit. And that kind of stuff has really been surreal, just being able to go out and meeting the listeners to all these shows. And everyone is wonderful, and Tookie loves them all more than a friend. But yeah, all this crap, that was definitely the highlight of Tookie's 2023.
No, for sure. That's great. Like I say, seeing, like you say, from DabbleCon, where you first met all these people, to then suddenly in Detroit, you're actually, you're someone that's there to be on the show.
Yes, DabbleCon. I was just a patron I just went to go watch the show. I did dress up as El Horrible the whole time. Tookie wasn't even invented yet. I did have Tookie in my closet, but I didn't know what to do with Tookie at the time. But yeah, the first DabbleCon, I was just an audience member. And then, yes, I got the invite to go to Detroit and be part of the show. And it was fantastic. It was just, things are evolving organically too, which is kind of cool. You keep hearing about buying views. Obviously, you bought views today.
Definitely.
Impressed Tookie. I get it. I'm very impressed. Well done.
34 views is only like $1.40. It's great.
That's fantastic.
You don't have to outlay much. Just Josh. Let's break away from the Dabbleverse a little bit. Just Josh. Yeah. You're obviously a big contributor to the Ben Maller Show via Twitter. For those people that are not familiar with us, we came together through the Ben Maller Show, which is a Fox Sports Radio sports program, sports talk program. It's overnight, and we've got the Maller Militia, which is kind of like the whack pack for Ben Maller. And yeah, just Josh is a big contributor on Twitter and joke writing for different segments and all that. What's been a highlight for you in 2023? Just Josh.
Well, 2023 has kind of been a little weird in the sense, like you say, I feel like I've been a major contributor for 5 to 6 years for the Ben Maller Show, but I've kind of slacked this last year. But, I had a son that just went into the Navy. So the whole deal was the whole year, going through basic, saw his graduation, got to see him come home right before Thanksgiving. And so, my 2023 has been it's been about him and just, I don't know. I feel like I need to get back with the show now. He's on his own course. He's got his life ahead of him. It's time to go back.
All right, drama queen. Jesus, bring the mood down.
Sorry, man, but
no, it's
I've been
look.
slacking. I know I have. I haven't put jokes in all year.
No, look, I'm with you, and similar for me. Like I got 2 kids now under 5, and it becomes a lot of your life when you got kids. So a kid leaving, I couldn't imagine it. A kid leaving, going into the military, and having to worry about that. Yeah, exactly.
Tookie has an 18-year-old brother who is going into the Air Force in February, so I understand. It is very weird. But
thank you for your service, Tookie.
And thank you to your son. That is wonderful. He's going to do great things. It is fantastic that they're going off and doing things and starting their lives instead of working at Wendy's and just smoking pot and playing video games. So there's something exciting about that they actually took, initiative to go, I'm going to go start my life. I'm going to go take this seriously. It's fantastic.
Yes.
Look, and speaking of that, and while the mood is down a little bit, Jay Scoop is not here. Those that are familiar with the story, Jay Scoop is a Marine veteran, and he chose to head over to Ukraine and provide medical aid on the front line and help rebuilding in certain areas and all that. And Scoop's been there for many months. And currently we recently got a message that, look, we don't know what's going on, but all I can say is if you're someone that's into prayers, maybe send some Scoops way. Things aren't going great for Scoop in Ukraine at the moment. Prayers to your brother. Hope you're all right. So let's bring it back up now.
All right.
Robbie is sure to have a fun-filled, happy, exciting memory from 2023. Come on, Robbie. The largest audience we've ever had. It's your time to shine.
I've had no fun memories. It's been a shit show of a year.
You've had at least one. Come on.
I can't. Not one just springs to mind.
What about the double-decker taco coming back to Taco Bell for a couple of weeks?
I don't even like the double-decker taco.
Oh, you're crazy. Oh, I was so disappointed. I wanted to go the day after Christmas, and they took it away already. Bastards.
I'm more of the Supreme Crunch thing, whatever that is.
Crunch Wrap Supreme?
Yeah, there we go.
All right. I don't understand why Taco Bell keeps bringing things back and then they take them away. They're dickhole.
Marketing.
I hate
marketing.
Well, why'd they take the gordita away? They still do the cheesy gordita crunch, so they have the ingredients. Give us the gorditas, you fucks.
That is true.
And the Baja sauce. Bring back the Baja sauce. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah. No, it's been a bad year. I don't have one specific low light either because it's all just kind of a blend. It's like a smoothie of sadness. So
A smoothie of sadness. I like that.
Oh, 2024.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
Depressing.
Yeah, it is pretty depressing. But hopefully 2024. Hey, it couldn't get any worse, could it?
Yes, it can.
Yeah, I know.
Oh no.
I love that there was nothing. Robbie, true to form, always like that's why.
Well,
you're the best,
you remind me of something good that's happened.
Oh yeah, what's that? Oh no, you want me to remind you of something?
Yeah,
good
yeah,
good point.
exactly.
You do. Well, no, didn't you get to see the Chili Peppers this year? Wasn't that a good time?
And that was a shit show.
Oh, okay.
Remember, I was trapped on that train with this woman who was instant messaging her mom saying I'm sitting next to the fattest person I've ever seen.
Oh no!
Wow.
How did you know that?
And then also I didn't know at the time I had a ruptured eardrum, so when I was at the concert, it had this weird like sound echoing effect for me the entire time. And on the way
Did it make them sound better?
No, shut up. And then on the way there, we didn't leave. I took the train because it's just easier to do it that way because it's a straight shot. But we were sitting on like the stage. We didn't move for 8 hours because some asshole wasn't brave enough to shoot themselves in the head, but instead of jumped in front of a train 30 miles ahead of us, and so they had to like take 8 hours to do an investigation and clear the track of some guy getting dragged for 15 miles. And so so that was one of the worst experiences of my life.
Yeah, this feels like a moment that stood out in 2023.
Yeah, of just being awful.
How did you know that the woman was texting her mom that she was sitting next to the fattest person in the world?
She was using one of those Mac laptops,
Oh, okay.
And she had no shame in tilting it like it was just right in front of me.
Check out what I'm texting my mom, fatso.
Yeah, she was iMessaging her mom with the laptop. It's like it was hard not to see.
What a bitch! So. And then you were on that train for 8 hours.
Yeah, there. Well, no, it was 8 hours before we left. It was a 6-hour train ride there. So by the time I was supposed to get to Seattle at 11 a.m. We got in at 6 p.m.
Holy shit! You traveled that far to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Yeah, it's insane, isn't it?
Shut up!
I hate them.
Was that the same person?
Hating them.
They stink.
Yeah, they're terrible.
I'm going to go see them again in July, and tickets aren't cheap. So
where are you going to? Australia to see them?
No, I tried.
Really?
No, they were doing a co-concert with Post Malone last year. I wanted to go see him in Perth, but they didn't announce it until like 4 months before they went, and it takes a little bit of yeah.
Where are you?
They're playing in Indianapolis, so I'm going there.
Where are you located?
I'm in Perth.
Right.
Yeah.
Where's Robbie?
In Oregon.
Oh, Robbie's in Oregon.
Maybe.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Absolute shit show of a state, by the way. I hate this place.
Yeah, we don't need to get started on Oregon. Was the one texting her mother was that the same one, or was it a different person that saw you walking up to sit next to them, or saw you next to their seat and visibly showed?
No, that was a different guy who said, "Why does this shit always happen to me?" So then I moved to a different seat.
Douche.
But Robbie is the reason that people get annoyed. You know, like when you got to pay for extra luggage, and then you get on the plane and you see someone like Robbie sitting there, and it's like, why does he have to pay extra? You know, like
you're so mean.
Yeah, you're mean.
Wonderful. You're wonderful, Robbie. Tookie loves you more than
he shouldn't be charged extra, man.
Well, I mean, I'm sympathetic to
it's like, come on, it's a person. It's one person.
It is true. I'm not friendly enough to ever have traveling with another person, so that's never a concern. I'm usually a lone traveler.
Speaking of this, Chris and Des Moines, Big Reg and Robbie being on the same podcast in 2023 was amazing, and the Guinness Book of World Records for the heaviest podcast. Yeah, Big Greg's not a small fella either, hence the name. Big Greg.
Are there any small people from Iowa? That's a legitimate question. So.
It was, what's the old saying? The old corn-fed fucking whatever. Anyway.
Literally
Robbie, I'm
meat-
sure you.
From when I've gone there, it's just meat and potatoes and corn every day.
They eat those made right sandwiches, those like sloppy Joe kind of sandwiches.
Those things are overrated. But yes, I've had many a made right.
Made right, yes.
Hey, Robbie, didn't you have Skyline Chili for the first time or whatever in 2023? Or was that?
Oh yeah, that was that was my best.
Surely that's a highlight.
Hey,
yeah, that was for the first time in 2 years I had Skyline Chili, so that was
it's fantastic.
sadly the highlight of my year.
That's fantastic.
It's great.
Wait, did
I
you
have some on the way to you with some Gold Star here, probably in a week.
Oh, that's
What?
exciting.
Sending Aussie a can of Gold Star chili and a can of Skyline chili, so he can choose between the two. I felt like Justin should be represented since he's a supporter of the Gold Star.
Oh.
Isn't Gold Star just like the cheaper version, which is why Justin supports it?
Yeah, exactly, because he's a loser.
Skyline's expensive.
It's probably a little spicier. I don't know.
You slipping some of that sweet legal American weed in that package as well? Or? I got to test. We now have medical marijuana here, and I was at a party. Thank you. I was at a party last night, and one of the guys had got himself a prescription, and he gave me a sample, and my fucking god, yeah. Oh yeah, that's fucking good shit. But you know what's crazy? He gave me the because he had two strains. He had the upper version and the downer version, whatever you call those. The fucking upper version did keep me awake. Like I could not get to sleep last night. It was fucking crazy.
Sativa.
Yeah,
sativa is that one. Yeah. Normally, if I have a good smoke of weed, it's nighty night. But not last night with this. So yeah, fucking crazy shit. Anyway, Robbie, you kind of did announce a low light in your highlight, but
what?
Well, just we'll go low lights now of 2023. What stands out to you is that all of your many physical and mental health issues.
I'd say the trip to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers was a low light.
Wow. So
actually,
your favorite
that wasn't
band.
even last year. That was a year ago, and it still stands out in my mind.
Oh, was that the end
wasn't
of 2022?
last year. No, it didn't.
No, I said, was that the end of 2022? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so, because it was an August thing, but it wasn't last August.
Yeah.
Shit. Man, this is depressing.
You skipped over a whole year to find the not best moment. Tookie's worried.
Robbie disappears for 15 hours at a time sometimes.
Where
he'll just be active on all his fucking social media or whatever, and then he just disappears for hours and hours, and you're like, is he dead? Has it finally happened?
I mean, he has to sleep. Maybe sleeping.
Yeah. I know, but I'm talking 15 hours. You know what I mean? This is and I know he tweets while he's at work, so he's definitely not at work. Dude is passed out. Going back to Stuttering John and getting food delivered. Robbie, should we dox your address? Because I know you would never say no to a pizza delivery or whatever.
No,
as long as it's paid for. As long as it's paid for.
That is very dangerous.
That's a good point. There's a lot of guns and ammo in that house.
Well, no, I didn't mean that. I meant I'm fat enough as it is. So if you want to take the other route of someone knocking at the door at 3 a.m, yeah, that would not be good either.
Yeah.
No one should be doing that. Don't send people to people's houses. It's stupid.
Nah, it is. It is stupid. It was
the whole. I once had a person threaten to swat me, or they tried and it failed. Which it's just hilarious that anyone thought I was important enough that they should try to swat me. But anyway, that wouldn't go well for me or the first 3 people through the door. So let's not do that. So.
The very famous Sodomy.
Sodomy.
Metallica, Guns N' Roses from Meadowlands. Cement hardly keeps stadium from fall down. Yes, that tour altogether, it's a pretty crazy story. A good part of the year and a half in the life of Metallica Part 2 documentary, which I've seen many times. James famously gets first-degree burns on stage from pyro, and
what year was that?
That was like 90. It was just after the Black Album and Use Your Illusion. So like 92. Yeah. About 92, I think. It was a huge tour. I think Faith No More on that as well.
What is
Axl was too big of a diva to fucking make it happen for the most part.
Yeah, there's a great scene, James Hetfield reading Axl Rose's dressing room requirements. Axl pose. He's like, cubed ham, it's got to be cubed so it'll fit down his little neck. Just completely ripping on Axl Rose. Lars Ulrich going, why don't we just turn up to every show, bend over and have them fuck us before every show? Because that's what's going on here. Great times. I'm a huge Metallica fan. So always good. Just Josh, you kind of did cover lowlights as well. I don't know if it's a low light, but what's the worst part of your year?
Oh man, for 2023, well, the Buckeyes for one, that's a pretty fucking low life for the 2023. That's something we can just push aside. I don't know what the hell just happened. What I just watched.
Yeah.
Smacked
by the SEC again.
Well, you say what you want, man, but I mean, they don't get up for those type of games, man. They never do. The writing was on the wall for that shit. So, hoist the trophy, Missouri. I don't know, 2023. It wasn't horrible. I mean, we've been busy. I guess the worst thing I could tell you for the whole year is I've been working in row homes, and those are homes that stack floor upon floor. So most of these are 4-floor homes with elevators. So all your setup is in a basically first floor basement. You're working your 4th floor down. So it's just carrying tools up, down, all day. So 2023, kiss my ass. I want to get back into the ranch homes.
I think we have kind of discussed a bit of a low light for Tookie, and let's get to some comments about it. F2Key, hashtag Cardiff did nothing wrong. So, what's that? Omega Wabo is on Cardiff's side.
Yeah, there are Cardiff supporters.
Yeah,
I don't truly get it. Seriously, I know everyone thinks, this is a work. They're doing another stupid work. But again, if this is a work, Tookie is the one being worked because Tookie does not know what's going on.
Yeah,
confused.
No, it is weird. I was trying to give it a like. I don't believe anything that goes on with anyone. I'm always assuming everyone's fucking around.
Well, that's all entertainment. I mean, that's why I love when people are like, "Oh, wrestling is fake. Oh, stupid radio wars. It's all fake." Well, yeah, I mean, it's all entertainment, stupid. So is your Walking Dead, your, all those other shows that you watch. It's all scripted. I mean, I don't understand why people choose certain things to call fake and stupid. But again, if Tookie is being worked, or if this is a work, Tookie is the one being worked, just like the rest of you. So we'll see what happens.
Tookie's not real?
Well, Tookie's real. But Tookie is a real, yes, Tookie is a real they. Tookie goes, is by the pronouns they, them, za, ga, those are, you could choose any of those. Thank you.
Very good. Soviet Skunk, I love Tookie and Vegemite. It's Vegemite. I hate Vegemite.
Never had it.
Yeah, not a fan. I doubt you guys would be fans. It's the end for Cardiff, says what's that? Pol Pot roast?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, if it's a work, it just makes him look like a soft potato. You know, it makes him look like a pussy. Doesn't it? Like
what no.
What would the work be? I mean, either way, I guess it makes him look like, I don't know.
I don't want to shit on Cardiff. Like, I like Cardiff, and Cardiff's never done anything to me.
Let's shit on him. Shit on him.
No, Cardiff was nice enough to come on when it used to be Mallertown, and we were nobodies. Well, we're still nobodies, but like it.
30 people.
Yeah, exactly. But no, in terms of like, he didn't know who we were or anything, and it was nice for him to come on. But yeah, like just being, an objective third party, kind of did come off as a bitch to me personally. That was my view on it. TWO, of course.
I do
want to
Tookie World Order. TWO.
Tookie's got a soundboard, Robbie.
What?
Tookie's got a soundboard.
Soundboard.
Tookie Taliban.
Go buy a fucking soundboard.
I
You know how
might.
many drops of you I want to put on a soundboard? You've said so
I'll buy
much
one.
fucking dumb shit. What was I going to say? Yeah, there is something I want to get to with you, Tookie, before we close out. Some other little beef that you've got yourself into.
I did.
But I will. Yeah. Well, I don't know that you got yourself into it. It just kind of happened. But I do quickly. There was a big NFL game today. I don't know if everyone will shut off at this point, but I'm a Cowboys fan. Just Josh is a Cowboys fan. Robbie just has opinions on everything, and you know, I'm sure Tookie's got thoughts. It's the story that's gripping the nation at the moment, with the Cowboys defeating the Detroit Lions 20 points to 19, a failed 2-point conversion to try and win it from Detroit. But the controversy was
Controversy?
yeah, I was doing an impersonation of someone you would never have ever heard of, but
No.
maybe someone in Australia just got that impersonation. But anyway, the Lions lined up 6 linemen. One of them declared as eligible. The refs got the wrong lineman, and they threw to a lineman for the 2-point conversion, and they brought it back, threw a flag, and everyone is crying about bad refereeing this year. Tookie, I know you're a bit of a gambler, and you were gambling on Chad Zumach, the opposite of Chad Zumach's picks earlier in the year. Did you see the incident? What are your thoughts?
I did not. It's funny. I was watching the whole game because Tookie had 2 Lions players on fantasy, and Tookie's in the his finals or whatever playoffs. And I think it was once because I was also facing Dak Prescott. So once Prescott got that touchdown in the fourth quarter, I was like, "Fuck, this sucks." And I think there was about 7 minutes left, and I stopped watching. But it turns out my other guy, St. Brown, was that the guy who got the touchdown at the end?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yay! I have him, so that is fantastic. But no, you told me before the show what happened. It sounds ridiculous. Like, how could they get the wrong number? How could they announce the wrong number? Like how does that happen? They literally just said, "Hey, ref, we're making number 70 eligible," and then the ref went, "Number 60 is eligible." Like is that literally what happened?
Basically, yeah, you got the numbers wrong, but 68 reported as eligible, and they announced 70 to the Cowboys. Which,
okay.
Yeah, which one point that is being missed in all of this is the fact that the Cowboys had no need to cover 68 because he wasn't eligible, and so that's kind of why he's wide open for it. So, yes, the referees did fuck up, but it's not like the Cowboys were covering. You know what I mean? Like it is a thing of the Cowboys had the wrong information as well. So the play isn't fair regardless.
Like, they couldn't cover it. They didn't know he was eligible though. That's why they took it back. That's why they weren't covering 68.
Yeah,
that's
exactly. I guess my point is the refs fucked up. Absolutely, the refs got it wrong, but they didn't actually take 2 points off the board. The 2 points were never legitimate. You know what I mean? Like it's. Even though the refs fucked up, the Cowboys probably would have covered 68 if they knew he was eligible. But anyway,
well, yeah, that's why they took it away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, point being, anyway, they fucked up.
The point is the refs fucked up, so they took it back. That's exactly what happened, right?
Refs suck.
Yes. Sorry.
And they've been sucking all year. There's been very, very plays.
That's what I was getting to. Sorry.
Exactly.
Thank you, Tookie. You just keep interrupting, Tookie. That's the problem. No, sorry. That's the point I'm getting to. Is it's been a fucking bad year for refereeing. And Tookie, you mentioned gambling, and a lot of people point to the gambling money and the theories of how it's all a work and it's all rigged. What are your thoughts on that, Tookie?
I mean, it's hard to, like, when you see a guy dragging his toe to make an amazing catch, it's you can't say, "Hey, that was set up that way, that was played." But yes, sometimes there's these refs, they make some of these calls and like they're literally like spotting the ball in the wrong spot, and it's just, I don't know, there's been a lot of just very obvious bad calls, like a lot of missed pass interferences, all that kind of stuff. It's got to make you question it. I mean, Before, when everyone was using bookies and gambling on football anyway, it just wasn't as easy. You kind of thought the games were rigged, but now it's like, I don't know. This year it's been questionable for Tookie.
Yeah, and this particular referee group has been involved in a few really horrendous games this year. Look,
you can't say it doesn't happen. Look at the NBA. Yeah. The NBA had that big scandal.
No, exactly, and that is a thing of like maybe in the NFL's not rigged, but maybe people have got to certain referees. And this particular referee, Brad Allen, I think his first name's Brad, the last name is definitely Allen. He has been involved in a bunch of like really questionable calls that have decided games.
And it would have to come from the refs because, like I said, you can't bribe the players to fix games. Like, how could you do that? You know, got to get these refs. These refs make probably like $100,000 a year. You allow them to wet their beaks a bit, and they go, okay, yeah, I'll call that back, no problem.
No, exactly. The only player really, maybe a quarterback, if you got to a quarterback and they just kind of start throwing some obvious interceptions and shit. But that's
they have so much money coming. What can you offer?
Exactly. Like that, even shitty quarterbacks are on insane contracts. So I don't know what money you could be offering them. But yeah, I'm just pointing out that's about the only individual player that could affect the result of a game. It's kind of hard for every other individual to do it. Josh, I know you're a Cowboys fan. Feel a bit hollow? Felt a bit hollow for me, to be honest.
You saw, as I saw, referees screwed up another call. I mean, what haven't they screwed up this whole season? Cowboys, I guess, you could say what you want. I mean, it was a home game. Jimmy Johnson was being inducted into the ring of, the Cowboy ring. I don't know. I mean, say what you want. I don't think it could be rigged in the sense. It's just bad call. The refs are screwing up a lot of things. When you see calls that we can all make and we see it in real time, what they're seeing, and they still take 5 minutes to go up to the eye in the sky or whatever and say, they still can't get it right. It's like, come on, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's overreaction. I mean, it's bad, but I still think the Cowboys are going to win this game.
Everything could be like automated too now, like there could be sensors in the field where we know where the guy went out of bounds. There could be
exactly. Why don't we have that technology?
Right. We don't need the human element anymore to call these games. Like you literally have a camera everywhere where,
I think we're at the level you can have sensors in the ball to
everything.
To actually know you don't. Yeah, the ball's stuck in the pile, but you know where it is in relation to the field. You know that the ball has come loose due to the sensors or whatever. All those different things.
Players wear gloves that have sensors, so we know if the guy had two hands on the ball and his feet were on. So stupid.
So much stuff they could do. And I was at a cricket game recently, sitting high up in the stands in the fucking nosebleeds, and they had a 3 run-out calls that they went to the video review on. I called every single one of them live from a bird's eye view, where the guy standing there with the perfect view straight down the line had to go to a video replay. Like, a lot of these guys, I got to be honest, are they paying attention enough? You know what I mean? Like, is that what's going on? They're just, do they need to be paid more? Do they need to be going through more training for all this shit? Look,
it's got to be hard.
Commercial money.
Well, it's got to be hard to be a referee, and you got to make a call on the spot. There's so much stuff happening. Like sometimes when there's a holding call, I'm like, what? I was watching. I didn't see a holding call. And then it's like, oh yeah, there was a holding. But yeah, there's got to be a lot of pressure on the refs to get everything right. And you're trying to make a call in split second situations. It's the same thing where they want like players to stop. You have to stop going for the tackle immediately when the guy goes down. It's like you want these guys to go 100% and then you expect them to stop on a dime while they're going 100% trying to tackle a guy. Like some of these things where they're like, well, he fell on the quarterback. It's like, well, what the fuck is he supposed to do? He's trying to tackle a guy to the ground. Like, what are we doing?
No, 100% agree. And Yeah, you make a great point in terms of we don't give them enough credit. Like you only ever jump on refs when they fuck up.
Of
But
course.
there'll be times in games where you're like, "What the fuck is that call? That's bullshit." And then they bring up the replay, and you go, "Oh, well spotted." Like,
Yeah, how did he see that?
yeah, that's pretty good that he saw that. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I guess it goes both ways, and there are incredibly good officials out there that unfortunately don't get.
We
the
just
credit
look for
they
the
deserve.
bad things on the refs. That's
Yeah, exactly. Which is kind of like Robbie always looking for the bad side of life. Robbie, I know you didn't pay attention and you didn't give a fuck to the Cowboys today, but do you just want to suck Josh Allen's dick for a minute?
Josh, he's in the MVP hunt again. I think Brock Purdy, after his 4 INT game, that's over. I think a lot of voters already would have begrudgingly voted for Brock Purdy because a lot of them still think he's a system QB or just a crappy QB that's been lucky. If it all comes down, if Lamar Jackson craps the bed today, then my Josh Allen future will be in play again.
What's crazy to me about this fucking MVP bullshit? Like, it's
It
just
should be Christian McCaffrey. Sorry.
they
It
are
should be.
obsessed with the fact that it has to be a quarterback because, yeah, all right, that is the most important player on the team. Yeah, everyone's talking Christian McCaffrey, which I agree. How about fucking Myles Garrett? The Browns are 11-5. They've fucking had quarterback troubles all year. They've brought Joe Flacco back from the dead. That's a team built on defense. And Myles Garrett, I would say, is the defensive player of the year. And I love Micah Parsons, but the Cowboys
now
defense
Myles
is,
Garrett's been a beast, man.
yeah. Yeah, I think they need to start looking past quarterbacks. It's like a quarterback has a bad game, and it's like, well, let's look at the next quarterback that's doing well. It's like, how about you look at the guys that are dominating their position, and some of these defensive players are dominating the position, and defense wins championships.
Well-
As much as you want to suck Patrick Mahomes and all that off, you need
The
a good defense.
The NFL MVP is really just it's the NFL's version of the Heisman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a quarterback award, same deal. It's like you said. I mean, that's what we look at. Even though I think there's plenty of other deserving positions, like you were saying, Myles Garrett, but Tyreek Hill is he's a guy that could get that. Trying to think of who else. Top of my head.
Give Tookie some locks today. I'm gonna put some parlays in.
Put some
Oh,
parlays.
I'm
Well,
an
Robbie's
expert
a
at
man.
getting 2 out of 3 on parlays.
Oh, fantastic.
Always, yeah.
Robbie's your man. Robbie, send El Horrible some
Give me some locks.
No, I was being sarcastic. I mean, I'll get you within one.
No, I know, but
No,
no,
that's
but
fantastic.
yeah, that's great. That's what
I don't
parlays
care.
are supposed to be.
I'll make some educated decisions on. Yeah,
I know what happened to
if you have any locks, let me know. Tookie loves to gamble on things he knows nothing about.
Hmm.
Fantastic.
I mean, the majority of parlays come down to one game, and it's probably
well, here we go. The Dolphins at Baltimore Ravens. Ravens are -3.
I have them at 3.5. I would take the Dolphins,
Oh, there we go.
but not money line.
No. We're talking spread. Patriots
Okay.
at Buffalo. Patriots are getting 14.5. Whoa! Holy
I
shit!
don't even know they can get that close. If it's in Buffalo, they don't even get that close. I don't think.
I don't think it's in Buffalo though, is it?
It is in Buffalo. Yes.
Oh,
Over under is
I s-
40.5.
gun to my head, I would take the Patriots on
Right?
spread.
A lot of
It's a lot. It's a lot of
That's a
points,
lot of
but
points.
Buffalo is built steam, and
Is
the
Buffalo
Patriots
in?
are fucking dumpster fire.
Is Buffalo playing for anything? Or are they?
They can still miss out if they lose. So yeah.
Yeah, they have to win at least one of the last 2, so they play the Dolphins after this.
Okay. Oh, this isn't the
So
last.
they want
week?
they want to win this one because who knows if they'll beat the Dolphins in the next one.
They need to win this one because they don't want to have to go into Miami and fucking
Yeah.
try and make the playoffs because Miami will want to dick them.
Atlanta is 2.5. Getting 2.5 at Chicago.
Ooh.
I see it at 3. You can shop around to get it at 3. That's
What am I?
dangerous.
I'm on FanDuel.
Oh. I'm just looking at ESPN, the app, so I'm assuming these are ESPN odds, so it probably is too.
Who do you like there?
I don't think the Falcons are going to win today. And I'm a huge Falcons fan. I'm a Josh
That's
Allen
in Chicago?
fan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Bears.
I love this.
Yeah,
I love talking
The
gambling.
Falcons play in a dome, so they're not real great. if
Yeah,
it's cold or
that's the
anything.
thing for me. The fact that it's in Chicago.
Good
I
call.
think the Falcons need this win, and Chicago aren't great, but the Falcons in Chicago.
And you never know, some Falcons players might get shot on their way to the game, so you always want to go with the home team in
You
Chicago.
do have to take that into account.
Mhm. Tennessee
Yep.
Titans are getting 3.5 at Houston.
CJ Stroud is back today.
Yeah, but they got no receivers anymore, do they?
Yeah, I know he
Oh.
doesn't, but they said he didn't have receivers when he started the season.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Is Will Levis healthy? I don't think Will Levis is healthy, which might actually be a good thing for the Titans. I think they're likely to keep it close if it's Tannehill starting. That's a weird
Wow.
game. I wouldn't touch that game.
All right, we're going to skip that one. Tookie skipping that one. The Raiders are getting 3.5 at Indianapolis.
They're on a tear, the Raiders. Yeah, I'd go Raiders.
Let's go Raiders.
yeah, I kind of like the Raiders in that spot. Minshew's he's capable of turning it over multiple times.
All right, we're cheering with donkey lips today. Go Raiders. LA Rams are -6.5 at New York Giants. New York Football Giants.
That's too many points for an on-the-road team.
Yeah, but the
Mm.
I know
Giants are horrible, right?
The Giants are horrible.
Rams win, Giants cover.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
All right,
Yeah.
we're going with the
Yeah.
Giants. San Francisco 49ers are -14 in Washington. Washington
I
is
don't
again-
touch this game because
Yeah,
my gut
again
tells
with the
me
14.
That's a lot
my
of
gut
points.
tells me Brissett, the one thing the backup QB for Washington, who I assume is starting today, is good at is not turning the ball over. So it'll be relatively close. But at the same time, the 49ers, after last week, are going to come into this game wanting to win by like at least 30 points.
Mm.
So it could go either way. It could either be a close 49ers win or it's an absolute blowout. But I'm not confident on either.
How about over under 49.5?
I might take the under.
I go over.
I'll go under. Yeah.
All right, we're going to go with
It
the
could be
under.
like 30-10, and it would still be under.
Right.
Or 40.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Carolina.
or like
What?
No, I was just gonna say, or like 27-14, where Commanders cover. Wait, that would be over, wouldn't it? You said 40.5.
49.5.
No, he took 49.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it could be like 27-14, where Commanders cover and just still under. So
A
yeah.
lot of
I would
unders
take
have been
the under.
hitting. A lot of unders have been hitting this year. Carolina
Well,
Panthers.
that's Ben Maller's thing. Ben Maller always says take the unders because you start the bet winning with the under. You have to have
Mhm.
something good to happen to hit the over. So,
Yeah, that is true. It's so hard to watch a game when you have the under sometimes. So.
yeah, yeah. You have to root for shit to happen. That's why one
Yes.
of the few other like sports personalities I like besides Ben is it's the Pardon My Take podcast, and they sell shirts that say "Life's too short to bet the under." 'Cause
Yeah.
They say it just makes watching sports really unfun to bet the under. So
Agreed. Carolina Panthers are getting a 3.5 at Jacksonville. I believe Jacksonville's starting quarterback is out.
I would take the Panthers.
Yeah, Florence is out. Oh, that's a shit show, isn't it? I'd definitely go the under in that game, whatever that is.
37.5.
Oh,
yeah, I'd
nope,
go
that's too low.
Oh,
Wait,
that's
what?
pretty low.
That's
All
like
right,
Iowa
I'd
football
definitely
low.
go under with that. 37.5.
Okay.
All right. Let's go Panthers in the under. We're up to an 8-leg parlay.
Yeah.
Arizona plus 12.5 at Philadelphia. Oh,
Fuck, I'd love Arizona to fucking win that game, but
I actually
How
really
many
like
points
the
is it?
Cardinals to cover that.
12.5.
cover. Yeah, I think they could cover that.
All right, let's go
But
Cardinals.
not win.
Something's mechanically wrong with
Kyler's playing.
not with yeah, he is.
Alligator arms. They said he's going to play.
Oh well, then he's like the expert at backdoor covers. So
Mm. Yeah,
I don't
some
know. I just
short-quarter
think
junk
something's
on points.
mechanically wrong with Jalen Hurts. I think his shoulder's all effed up. He seems like anything over 20 yards, the throw starts to wobble on him. I don't think they're going to win by like more than 13. So since it's 12.5, the odds would be probably pretty good that it's relatively close.
All right, so that parlay's at 9 legs. Did you say?
9 legs now. Yes.
If you want to do a money line,
we're
Well,
still
let's close
think-
it. We'll close it out at 10 legs. We'll give him one more
10
leg and we'll close it
Okay.
at 10 legs.
I like the Packers to beat the Vikings. Just straight up.
Just straight up because the Packers are plus 1.5.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's go with that. Oh, fantastic.
There you go. 10 leg parlay for Tookie.
$5
Yeah,
bet.
Vikings they're beat up, man. They're wounded.
What is a $5
Yeah.
bet gonna yield out of that 10 leg parlay?
$2,816.
Yeah, nice. All right, we'll keep us
Nice.
posted. Keep us posted. Wet
I
our
will.
whistle. Wet our whistle if it's
Oh,
if
of
it
course.
comes
Yes,
through.
of course. Oh, yes. Tookie will, allow you to wet your beaks a bit if this hits.
Yes.
Yes, this was fantastic. I loved talking football spreads with you guys. That was great. You seem
fun.
very knowledgeable, Robbie, and you too, Josh. Aussie guy,
Wow,
you
was
know
that
what you're talking about. But
Was that a shot at Ozzy?
yes,
Yeah.
he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's
Robbie's a Josh Allen. He knows it all about Josh Allen.
Mhm.
That's true. It's kind of
It's-
sad, but I do.
My
Like,
accent.
I didn't set out to have a shrine for Josh Allen, but I have so much
just
damn
happened.
Josh Allen memorabilia. It just kind of happened, and I'll have like people in the Mauer Militia will randomly send me Josh Allen gifts. Like I have a Josh Allen cup that says "I love when Josh Allen throws the deep ball," and somebody sent me a Josh Allen pillow. I think they're trying to make fun of me, but they don't realize I find it hilarious, and so I'm like, fine, keep sending this shit to me.
Do you have Josh Allen socks?
No,
Okay.
that would be great. Someone was tried to buy. I think my parents tried to buy me a Josh Allen Christmas ornament, but they sold out. So we got like a sorry, we can't make any more of them on Etsy type email. So that was disappointing.
Yeah, I used
I have an
to.
autograph. I have an autographed like photo of him too. So, but I got that back when he was like a rookie, when he wasn't great, and so it wasn't nearly as expensive as it is
No,
now.
I give you credit. You defended him from the start. You've always
Yeah, I
been
know.
you've always been a supporter of his. So
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I liked Josh Allen in the beginning, and I was all like on his side for Robbie, and I was like, I want him to win for Robbie. And now that I've been podcasting with Robbie for 2.5 years, I now want Josh Allen to fail at every turn
What
because
the
I've had
fuck?
enough
That's
of it.
not nice.
I've had enough of it, Robbie. I'm sick of it now.
I'll start
yes.
rooting against the Cowboys then.
You probably already do. Everyone does.
one
if they're
thing
Oh,
to
gonna
what?
bring
go
That's
with
not
joy
the
Cowboys.
to his
point.
life, and
You're just another one on the list that's against the Cowboys. I don't give a shit. Yes, Big Greg, that is the joke. Robbie loves Josh Allen's deep ball. Or
Okay,
Joe
yeah, it
Allen
does
as deep
say-
ball.
the cup actually says when Robbie loves when Josh Allen goes deep.
Yes,
So,
yeah, definitely. Chris and Dead's Moines. It's easy to get a Josh Allen football. Just play for the other team.
that's pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie.
That's a good one. All right, we're just going to quickly wrap it up. I mentioned one other beef that Tookie's got going on, and I got a little bit involved with it on Twitter during the week. A puppeteer
Oh,
from Muppets in Space, Greg Jarnigan, is that the name?
yeah, Greg Jarnigan, I guess.
Yeah, 120 followers, I think, on Twitter. An expert puppeteer says, well, I don't know if we peel back the curtain about someone's puppeteering skills, but Rocco, I guess Rocco's puppeteering skills
Yes.
trash.
Yes.
And Greg is obviously all for child-friendly content. Doesn't feel like if a child clicked on a video with Tookie, they would be getting hurt ears. I commented on a post that he had about someone about sucking Willie Nelson's dick, I think. Effectively.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. I didn't understand what that joke was.
I know it was very weird. But I just said this doesn't seem very child-friendly and blah, blah, blah. You need to
Yes,
apologize.
I saw that actually. Thank you.
And he didn't block me, which I was surprised. I thought he would block me immediately. But what I found interesting, there was like 13 replies to that tweet, and 10 of them were all just like Tookie World Order. Fucking I stand with Tookie, whatever. It must make you feel happy that there's always people ready to jump on.
Yes.
Tookie.
It's insane. When John was threatening to sue me, the amount of people who privately messaged me and said, hey, we're on your side. If you need any help, if you need money for lawyers or anything, was insane. Like, seriously, John, there was an army of people that I have behind me in the Tookie World Order, the Tookie Taliban, Allah Akbar. But yes, it is very touching, and it's a very good feeling to know that if I'm ever in trouble, there are a lot of people who are there to defend Tookie And Greg Jarnigan, yes, Greg Jarnigan was a background puppeteer for Muppets in Space. Somehow he found a clip of Tookie. He's very disgusted with Tookie's talk, says that the puppeteering needs a lot of work. And what he doesn't know is that I've done a ton of videos for little kids who love Tookie. Their parents let them watch Tookie for some reason. But all the way down to like less than a year old, all these kids. And Tookie knows when to turn it off. And when, someone said it best. Tookie knows when to be Andrew Dice Clay and when to be Mr. Rogers. So I do. But if parents let their kids watch Tookie, I can't do anything about that. But it is there are kids out there who actually love Tookie, and it's very weird.
Well, I can speak to it, and in amongst all of this feud, quote unquote feud, we don't know what's going on, but between you and Cardiff, my son is 4.5, and he saw Cardiff on my screen one day, and he was like, "What's going on there?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's a potato. It's a talking potato." And yeah, I've talked to that potato. He's been on my show, and anytime he hears that I've gone and done the podcast, he'll ask, Did you talk to the potato?" Yeah, and he's seen Tookie, and I got him to draw Tookie one day. I got him to draw Grover and then just color him green. That was kind of effectively what I did.
Yeah, that's pretty much what everyone does for the AI. I think it's the easiest way to make a Tookie. But yes, that is awesome. Send me his picture. I put them on Instagram.
It gets ripped up by his little sister. But I'll get him to draw another one. I'll definitely get him to draw another one. We did an entry for Chad Zumach's studio on Nobody Likes Onions.
Oh yes, did you?
My son draw. I just told my son, "Can you draw a laptop for me?" And I sat my laptop on the bench so that he could draw the laptop, and I sent it in to Patrick and said, "I'm not artistic, but my son loves to draw. So here's a laptop from a 4-year-old. That's Chad Zumach Studio." So yeah, my son loves to draw. So I'll definitely get him to draw Tookie.
That's fantastic.
I really appreciate you coming on. Like I say, our biggest audience by a long way. And, we've maintained a good, we're still sitting at 25, which isn't bad, Some people dropped off when we stopped talking about the Dabbleverse, but, some people have hung in there. And sorry, I didn't hit the comments very much, but I just wanted to do our show, and I get distracted by the comments, and I just wanted to keep the conversation going. But Tookie, obviously, I think everyone that's here already knows everything about what you've got going on, but fucking hit some plugs anyway, mate.
You can just go to Tookie Soup. Everything is on Tookie Soup. It's just a link tree with all my crap, and everything's there. You can buy a Tookie shirt. You can follow Tookie on YouTube, Rumble, Twitter. I'm active on all that crap. Patreon. The Tookie World Order is taking over, and I love you all more than a friend. I'm glad I got to meet Robbie and just Josh. They're fantastic. I love talking football. I'm so kind of bummed out that we did this one of the last weeks of football. But Tookie would love to come back during the playoffs and talk football with you guys.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a later show after El Horrible is finished during the playoffs, and we can go live after El Horrible, and Tookie can. You could jump on and talk some playoffs. Thank you very much, man. Really do appreciate it. Just Josh, let everyone know where to find you.
If you're looking for me, you can find me on X at NJHunt02, or if you're in Cincinnati, I'm somewhere in the Seven Hills trimming.
Yeah. Not just carpentry.
Not just carpentry. You might catch me with Justin. I caught up with him the other day. So. Oh,
nice. Was that depressing? Bet it was.
No, actually, this was not a depressing visit.
Wow, that's strange.
Wow.
Speaking of depressing, Robbie, let everyone know where to find you.
So you can find me at Mariner Robbie on Twitter or X, and then you can find the United States of Australia podcast Twitter or X account at USA of AUS Pod.
And again, that Twitter account makes no sense.
No, it doesn't.
USA of Oz is dumb.
Yeah, anyway. We're probably going to have to change it again. But for now, that's what it is.
That's what it is for now. Actually, do what Tookie did. I'm giving you that task of setting up a link tree with all our shit. You can go out and do that. Yeah, you just...
meeting you today, Tookie.
Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, it was fun.
You just get a website URL and just dump all of our links on the website. And, put some, interesting fucking I guess, artwork or whatever that we've collected over the years, thanks to Ray and all of that. So yeah,
Okay.
that's your task, Robbie. That's something you got to work on in 2024. That's New
Okay.
Year's resolution for you.
Get a new website, because then it's just easy. Yeah, you just tell
Yeah.
people through your stupid website.
Yeah, you don't have to give out all these fucking different handles and all that shit. So no, it's a good idea. At Jesse Crean on Twitter, our buddy Jay Scoop that's in Ukraine at the moment. Send him a tweet of well wishes and
Thinking of you, brother.
Yeah, he's our buddy, and we're worried about him, and we hope everything is okay for him. But and we hope we can get him back on the show sometime in early 2024. But shout out to you, mate. I hope you're all good. And for me, Get My Go just had our Christmas special a couple of weeks ago, and I think Mike will be dropping an audio only episode that we recorded last weekend. So go to youtube.com/getmygo. Particularly the people have come in tonight to see Tookie. If you're into that style, WATP, what El Horrible and Tookie do, and all those different shows, Get My Go is that style show, but just a completely different topic. But Hughesy's on it. Mike Durbin is the producer, and he's amazing with his production work. Joe Feeney from Keeping It 100 with Conan, and of course Chad, who's been a guest on our show. So check out Get My Go, youtube.com/getmygo. And for me, on Twitter or X, I am at that sussy guy. Just imagine that Aussie guy and put an S where the A should be. We'll catch you next time on United States of Australia.